Hi everyone, I'm Karen Sydney and welcome to today's interview in our Woman Who Creates series. My purpose behind these interviews is to inspire women to go out and create the life that they want for themselves and to show them that there are infinite possibilities and opportunities in our world. Today's guest is Donna Ferguson, so welcome Donna. It is such a privilege to have you here. Donna is the owner, CEO of Unique Vibrations, which is all about helping and creating extraordinary women. She is also the host and producer of Unique Vibrations Midday TV show and is from Brisbane, Australia. Donna realised a number of years ago for her to be all that she was supposed to be, starting this business was what she needed and wanted to do, and she has transformed it into the very successful business that it is today. She has a vision to take her business global and to create a movement of women that can align together and then to help even more women. She says every woman deserves to be valued, limitless and extraordinary. Her clients walk away with significant transformations in all areas of their lives. This is very important to Donna as part of her journey in life was in a marriage filled with domestic violence. After the pain of a broken marriage and being a single mum, she found that she continued to attract the same kind of relationships, not realising that it first required her to heal herself inside. It took her many years to be able to live the extraordinary life that she lives today, and this is what she wants for all women. So thank you, Donna, for coming to share your story with us. I love the work you are doing with women and the difference you are making. So this must be very rewarding and satisfying to you.
Oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you for having me. It's a great honour to be here and be part of your series. So it is very rewarding, Karen. I think more because, you know, women restrict themselves through their conditioning years and, you know, how they've been brought up. And it comes from previous generations and the lineage of their previous lives that really creates this understanding that they're supposed to be who other people want them to be. And, you know, I think women restrict themselves as well when they get to a certain age that they're too old to start. And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter whether you're 25 or 75, you know, you really are able to pursue your dreams any time at any stage in your life. And, you know, through the processes that I use through psychic protection and, you know, clinical hypnotherapy. And as a wealth creation coach, I use these strategies and tools to help them and watching them grow within an hour or two. And I'm sure you know through your own work as well, you just see them lighten and, you know, their souls just free of, you know, the drama and the trauma and the challenges that they've had throughout their lives. So yeah, I just love what I do. I'm very passionate about helping other women to grow and be, you know, not stuck with this belief that they're limited. And once you get into that healing of the inner work, which takes a long time when you don't realize that you don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Yeah, it's so true. And that's what I always say. I just love it. And it's something about people's eyes that I notice. Like when they get it and the changes are inside them, their eyes absolutely light up. And you can see, yes, you've got it and the change has been made. And so, you know, it's to get that message, like as you're saying about age, that to do what you actually want to do for your life, regardless of the age. You know, just go and what it is that you want to do, whatever time you're in your life, just do it.
Absolutely. And, you know, I recently attended a retreat and there was a woman there who was 75 and had been living in a tumultuous sort of relationship, not physically harmful, but definitely emotionally and mentally harmful. And she was just a powerhouse in this retreat. She took every moment and embraced it. I think she'd been on her own around about 12 months, but she was really, you know, starting to pursue everything that she loved in her life. 75 years old. wow.
Freedom that she'd realised that she's got now, and all the things that she could go and do. Oh, it'd be so lovely to see that. And there's so many older people too that you can be inspired by. Like, you go and follow their journeys and see what they're doing, or watch them. You can see there's so many video clips even on YouTube, like women in their 90s to still taking yoga classes, and like all an amazing variety of things. And so that in itself shows you and inspires you. Wow, can still do lots of things. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you're very, very capable. And not only that, if you're restricted slightly physically, that's not a limitation, because your mind and your experiences of life are so grand that there is absolutely nothing to stop you. And there's little things you can do to help you along with your physical mobility as well. And, mindset helps with that as well. As you start to stand taller with releasing those limitations, everything starts to work better.
Well, I think, older people too have got such a gift and such a wealth of knowledge and information that's going to be lost. And I think even if they go along and spend time with younger people, and they're so interested in the way that things used to be done. And so there's, that place in society for them to contribute as well. And it's well received. People are very interested in listening to their stories. So there is lots of things out there to do.
Oh, totally. They can do anything.
No, well, and so are there any other challenges besides what on your journey with your marriage that you've had adversities that you've had to climb over to get to where you are today, that have just shaped you into this passion that you want to help other people?
Look, I think we all experienced challenges along the way. After the domestic violence, of course, there were relationships that were poorly chosen, purely because, I hadn't gotten rid of all the emotional and challenges within myself to be able to attract the right people. And that doesn't mean to say that down the track you're not going to. I mean, I've met my husband, and we're extremely happy, and we live a wonderful life, which is, I'm very fortunate that I've had that opportunity. But I did have a really bad relationship for 12 years prior to that, which kind of put a lot of emotional stress on me. And, when I left that and I started building my motivational and my inspirational journey, and meeting a lot of people like yourself and, so many others that we both know, things happen, and, your body changes. And as you release things, or your soul refuses to release them, things can happen with your health. And I had a couple of challenging issues, and one of them was that I got this virus a number of years ago, and it was probably close to 20 years ago now, where I literally couldn't stand up for more than about 30 seconds. So every time I went anywhere, we literally had to go and find a wheelchair to get me around a shopping centre, or, an event or anything like that, because I could not walk, literally could not walk. And, that's extremely challenging and frustrating when you've been quite active in your life. So, there was a lot that came out of that. And, that was one of the other things that, once I was able to drive again and, walk around and do my own things, and I started exercising every day, and really was extremely grateful for the fact that I, could get out of bed every day, and I could walk around, and I could exercise. And, my husband said, I used to push you around in a wheelchair, and now I can't keep up with you. So I think it gives you a whole new purpose in life and a passion for life, once you come through the other side of anything like that. So, that's really important, to appreciate everything that you have now. And, people are so attached to, when I get this, I'm going to feel this way. But the attachment to that feeling is through receiving something that when you do receive it, the expectation is so high that the feeling is disappointing, because all those feelings are really within yourself, and to learn to have that emotion and feeling prior to actually having more and appreciating and being extremely grateful for what you have today really does set you in flow to receive more anyway. So, you know, that's a really important lesson through all of that process that really did change a lot of things for me as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the keys too to being happy. Like live in the moment and enjoy the moment. You hear it said so repeatedly. Oh, it's Monday. You know, I hate Mondays. I got to go to where it's the start of the week. You got all week to get through, and you know this story. So if you keep saying I hate Mondays, well, you're going to have a terrible Monday. And then it's like, oh, thank God it's Friday. Oh, the week's over. You know, and then hurry up and be Christmas. I'm sick of this year. You know, and so. And that's it. And all those things arrive, but they don't make you happy or change anything. And so you're just sitting there every day, you know, wishing your life away. And so you haven't enjoyed all those moments in that day or appreciated the things that have come along. You miss the opportunities when you're in that flow as well. And there's so many opportunities out there, and so much to be grateful for. It's like New Zealand, we've got such a beautiful country. You have equally in Australia as well. You know, we're very to like, and so there's so much, you know, nature, and you know, so much. Walk around with your eyes open and just enjoy it all, isn't it? It's, you know, and I find that's sad that people actually can drive somewhere and you say, oh, what did you think of, you know, such, and they didn't even notice anything about the view or the nature and you're like, wow, that's, you know.
I know. I mean, why would you even wish your life away and wish that you were into the new year, you know, in March and April? And that actually brings up a really important point. I recently heard that the most common, I think they use the word favourite, but it's probably not favourite. The most common time of death is Monday morning at 9 a.m.
Oh, is that right? Mm.
Yeah. Now, everything that you just related to, people going to work and not wanting to be there, relates to be careful what you wish for, because you know, if you hate
and that is so true, isn't it?
Be very specific about how you want to get out of that job.
You might get rid of this Monday and not have to endure it like you don't want to.
I know, and I was surprised and yet not, you know, when I saw that. So write your list, be very careful. You know, the universe does package opportunities every single day. They don't always come in a white box with a red or purple ribbon, you know? It comes in the fact that maybe you have to go somewhere by chance, not even to meet anybody, and, you know, sitting at the next table or sitting or standing in the aisle next to you, something comes of that. That might be the opportunity. Learn to open up.
Oh, it's amazing how often that it happens. My daughter and I, like, we laugh about it because there's just, you know, something between us, the both of us, like we just mention something, there's something in a conversation that we talk about, or a name, a person that one of us hasn't heard of. Well, the very next minute, something about that person, you know, we've heard something, or the next day something's happening. Just everything we talk about, like, it just comes along and I'm like, oh, this is, you know, seriously. The other day I actually messaged her, seriously, that was spooky.
I know. And you know what? It's such a wonderful thing to embrace when these things happen, because it's, you know, it's back to the same old stuff. It's the mindset. It's what you focus on, you know, is going to be, you're going to be rewarded with. So whatever that is, and, you know, where the mind goes, the body follows every single time in the way that you act or take action. So, you know, thoughts, the whole process of, you know, thoughts always equal your actions. So, you know, even the silent thoughts, it doesn't have to be said out loud. Yeah,
You've got to be very careful, because what you think, those thoughts you have, are what you're going to get. So
totally.
yeah, so it is about, as you say, making sure they are what you actually want. To have it, be very specific about it, because you do. And so if you continually focus on that, yeah, well, I hate Mondays. Every Monday something bad happens. Well, yes, as you say, it just might.
That's right.
So along the way, you've obviously had, a lot of people that would have inspired you, but one of the people that you mentioned was Michelle Obama, and I agree that she is just an amazing woman, and she is incredible, and she's just making such a huge difference out there for women on the world stage. And I think, to be such a powerful woman, but she's so down to earth and always appears relaxed and very willing to talk to people, and I think, and you can tell that, she's giving out to people from her heart, and that really makes a difference, doesn't it, when with people like her.
Oh, look, it certainly does, Karen. And, that energy that she projects is soothing, and it's soulful, and it's authentic. And, her book, The Becoming, I'm doing the Audible book, and to hear her voice with that just flow, and, it's just such a beautiful soul. You really do feel it, and she's not afraid of anything. And you listen to her talking about, when she was younger and growing up, and, she didn't have a fantastic childhood when you look at her upbringing. So for her to create what she's created to be where she is today is phenomenal. And she was never afraid to think she would be able to achieve something. And that was right from a very, very young age. She was, she was talking about, I think, playing the piano, and she didn't want to really put the practice in all the time because it was with her auntie, and, I think it was her auntie. And then, the concert came up, and she literally froze on stage. And there was the one person that she didn't think would be able to help her through actually was the one that supported her, and took her through that with such purpose. And the lesson that she took away from that obviously was, phenomenal as well. So you just thinking about the way she talks about that, it really does bring the emotions up. So it's just a beautiful book, and a beautiful Audible to listen to if you ever get a chance. It's wonderful.
Yes, no, I've definitely, would like to read her book. I saw that it was out, and I thought, yes, it will be amazing, because, she's got real gifts that she gives out to the world. And as you say, she didn't start with everything handed to her and have a great childhood. And that's, I say, so many people blame their childhood and their parents, and there's always this excuse, but it's like, well, so when are you going to become a adult and actually take over your life yourself? If you keep blaming someone else, you can't change what happened if you did have a terrible childhood. And that, yes, it's not nice, but I always say, well, if it's so bad, why do you want to keep living it? And they're not in control of you now. Once you're an adult, you're in control of your own life, and so you have choices that you can make. So the sooner you let go of that blame and take the responsibility for your own life, isn't it, and take the required action, well, then you can get the life you want. But so apart from Michelle, who else has been someone you've followed, or is a good advice to give to other people to look up and check these?
Look, just talking about taking responsibility for your life. I think Oprah is a great example of that. She, she has a little thing on YouTube where she says, while she was sitting there waiting for God to help her and give her what she wanted, he was waiting for her to take responsibility for her life and choose to make a difference. So you know, that in itself, the way she talks about that is really powerful. And she is a powerhouse in every area. And also, I think more recently, the Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she's done amazing out there. She's been incredible getting the country through what they've been through, and the families, you know, the support and the love that she's, and genuinely from her heart. You know, it's not, and you can tell the difference, can't you, when it's genuine and heartfelt. And no, she's amazing what she's been doing and will continue to do to help these families through this tragic time. It's been awful, you know, because like when you take on a role like that, you know that there'll be lots of challenges come along, but when something like this has never happened in New Zealand before and you didn't expect that it would, to suddenly have to go and front up to all those people, that huge loss of life, like there was 50 people shot and killed in, you know, in a matter of 10-15 minutes. Plus there was like about 80 or more in hospital with, you know, serious critical injuries. And so even the doctors, like I read reports from the doctors on the news, and they were even saying, like, for them, even though, you know, they're surgeons and this is what they do every day, they don't do gunshot wounds every day. And with the amount of huge damage that it done to the bodies, because they were shot like at point blank range, and, you know, in massive damage. And so for them to work all around the clock. So, like, yes, when you've got to deal with these new things, is to have that ability, isn't it, in yourself, you know, to be able to step up to the occasion. And it takes, it's a lot of courage and a lot of bravery, and, you know, so no, they've done an amazing job, as well as our police force here. Oh, just incredible. So yes, you've got to take your head off to all those people, but yeah, they're great role models. And I think that's great, seeing a Prime Minister that's such a great role model to other women. And, you know, she's just got a 9-month-old baby, and you know, she's just a young woman and hadn't had the experience to take on that role. So I think that gives that out to women, doesn't it, that they can step up and do other things. But you say Oprah, she's when you read her story and the childhood and life she had to be, you know, there's what she is today. She's just huge. The woman she would have helped, it's incredible.
You know, and she started up that school for women in, I can't remember where it is. Was it in a South African, in
South African country, I'm sure.
So, you know, to help them and give them education about, you know, personal as well as mental education, and, you know, to really, she gives back so much. And, you know, who would have thought that a child that went through that much trauma in her
horrific.
would come through and really step up and be counted as a massive leader in all areas of, you know, not only life and TV, but she really does hold strong and passionate about a lot of topics, you know, in the world. And go Oprah, I say.
Yes.
You know, phenomenal.
And I think, isn't it, like in our today's world, with the technology we've got, and like with the Google and all that, like you just need to type in a question and something will come up for you to be able to follow. So there is plenty of people out there now, like Oprah, like you can go and read her story. And so when you think you can't, that's enough to make you think, oh my goodness, if she could do this with what all she'd been through, I can do the little thing, that's a first step in the little, you know, towards what I want to do, you know, just get started.
That's it. And you don't have to do the whole staircase, Karen. It's step by step.
Exactly.
You know, that's one step every day. You know, that's 1% better than somebody else, or one step further than somebody else who's done nothing. So pursue your dreams, because you don't know when life's over.
No, exactly. And so, like, as you're saying, take one step every day. So so many people, like at the end of the year, they had something they wanted to do at the beginning of the year, they get to the year and they, quite often they say it like, oh, I've been going to do this for like 5 years. Or even if you took one step every day for the 365 days, well, you wouldn't get to the end of that year saying you hadn't changed and done nothing. So it's worth just starting and doing, as say, make that a goal. And it's not a big goal. You can do one step towards something every day. I quite often say, take a look at your time, if you are at your funeral and you don't want to be in that space, but just think, well, what would you like said at your eulogy? And what kind of person would you like them to be saying that you were, and then you've got to stop and look, well, could they say that? Are you actually that person? And so if you're not, those aren't the words that are going to be said about you at the end of your life. So, you better change it now, because as you said, none of us know when the end of our life is. So become that person that you would love them to be describing.
Yeah, exactly right. Totally agree.
And so, you did mention, we talked about success, and I love the way you describe success, because I think it is true. Success to you is that freedom to choose what you want to do, and it's been able to make a spontaneous choice that you can just go ahead and do something, and it's choosing to live anywhere in the world and be able to work from your laptop. You still can take your business with you, and it's being able to also help your family. And so, yes, I think that's a great definition of success. It's not just about the dollars. And I find a lot of people that you hear about and talk to, that even though they are achieving at a very high level, they can still be unfulfilled and not satisfied when they are just doing it for the money.
No, look, I think anybody who is a success and succeeds in any kind of business doesn't start off with the thought that it's all about the money, because yes, it's a business, yes, it's got to make a profit, but they usually start off with a bigger passion and a bigger vision than that. And it is about helping others. It's about, being able to give back. And, how often have you heard people say, give back, give back, give back, and here's the cup, can you donate? And at the end of the day, it's really important to remember that when you're giving back, make sure you give back to yourself. Because if your cup's not full and you're giving to others, it's going to empty pretty quick. So it is important to give back to yourself, to look after your own self first and your own business first. And when you have the overflow, there's plenty to go around. And I think that's also a really big part of success. Because, you have to start somewhere, and to be providing other people with success and income really doesn't provide the outcome that you want at the end of the day. So, that's a huge step in success as well, I think, is to understand you do have to give back to yourself until you have the overflow.
And I think that's a big lesson that, so many women have got to learn. Women are very good at wearing lots of different hats, and I do find that, yes, so many times there's nothing left for themselves. It is all just give, and they don't receive anything. They don't even take care of themselves. So, they're wanting to be a good wife, a good mother, a good boss, all the different things. But the thing is, if you actually look after yourself and are in a better position and feel good and feel well and all that, your well-being and your mindfulness and all those areas, well, you can actually give more. So if that's your purpose and you want to give, but you're not giving to yourself, well, you actually could fulfill your purpose more, because you can give more if you take care of you. And woman, yes, so that's something that, there's a big message that women do need to understand, that they're still a great mother if they're giving to themselves. You can be an even better mother. you know.
That's exactly it, Karen. You really nailed it when you said, to be able to give back more is by looking after yourself first. And, it's so true. To be able to love your family and your loved ones is all about loving yourself first. And that's not selfish, and that's not a luxury. It's a necessity to be able to provide the best love and understanding and teaching and learning and knowledge and all of those things that go with motherhood, for those that are your loved ones, the ones nearest and dearest to you. If you don't look after yourself and you crash and burn, you're not there. You just cannot be there to support them the way that they need that support. So number one is yourself. In a plane, number one is put the oxygen on you first.
Yes, and I think that's a good analogy, isn't it, to look at. And why do they say that? It is because even if you've got a small child, you must put yours on first.
Yep. And I mean, your intuitiveness is totally, get the mask on the little one, because you can take a deep breath and kind of hold on for a bit. But no, you need to be breathing and go back to your own breath to focus and, come back and then look after everyone else.
And and I think that it's a great lesson to get out to women, because you see so many women just exhausted, and there's just nothing left in their tank for themselves, and so they're just struggling every day. And to be a role model to your children, like it's great to show them that no, mum needs some time as well. And so it's it's a great learning for women. And so the work you do with women, that's why it's like so important and so valuable what you're teaching people, and the changes that you're making. It's absolutely fantastic. And you will continue to do even more. So have you got any other advice for women that are actually wanting to make changes in their life? Maybe it's their lifestyle, maybe it's something personal for themselves, their business or the job that they don't like. What would you say to them? What's the first thing that they should try and do? What's a step they could take to get started?
Yeah, look, it's a question that I guess I get asked a lot, and I would say the first thing to do, regardless of where you're at in your life and what you're pursuing or what you're doing, or, whether you're in an employed job or whether you're working for yourself, is to come back to basics. Everything's so overcomplicated, and it's really about coming back to that breath and centering yourself. If it means 15 minutes out of your day, or to get up 15 minutes earlier, to really take that time and set your intention for the day. What do you want to achieve that day? And again, it doesn't matter what you do each and every day. It's what you want to get out of the day, the most that you want to be able to do, the best that you can do it. And, whether that's through yoga or meditation, or just setting your intentions before you even get out of bed, all of those things really do help you to increase your flow of energy, which creates more for those around you as well. So, you don't have to take on other people's energy. So find a way to protect yourself. And there's plenty of things, like you said, with technology, you can Google anything these days. So to protect yourself, there's meditations around how to protect yourself. They can be as little as 7 minutes. To do that of a morning before you start your day can make a huge difference. And remembering to do that and letting those things become your habit, being very intuitive and understand and connect with that feeling that you get, because it will be right every single time.
And it's like 7 minutes. It's all it
Yeah.
takes. If you can't give yourself 7 minutes in a day, well, there's something seriously wrong, isn't it? Yeah, you're definitely not taking care of yourself. And that is it. And as you say, if you do it every day, it becomes that habit. And once you've got a habit, you just automatically do it, and you make it fit into your day. It's your habit, and it just happens. So yes, we can all take advice from that. 7 minutes to change the day. Start with that. Find that video.
Yeah, I know myself. I do my 7 minutes. I set my intentions. I do my affirmations. I do my, as in my I ams, and I do my protection. And then I get up, and first thing I will do is turn the TV on, because as I go and have like my morning sustenance drink before I start my day, I then go into the lounge room and I YouTube the yoga session. So, I don't have to leave the house. You don't have to leave your children at home on their own. And, again, they have, I think the shortest one's probably about 10 or 12 minutes, and some great stretching, which really gives your whole being, so it's your soul, the ability to, yoga is a very mindfulness journey, and there's so much on there that you can do in such a short period of time. Some days I might do 20 minutes, some days I might do 40 minutes. It just depends on where I'm at on that particular day and what I have to prepare for. But it's it calmness and peacefulness that you get from yoga. It improves your digestive system. It improves, all areas of your life. Like there was one I listened to this morning, I haven't listened to it before, and it actually gave you 15, I think, yoga positions. And, it was about thyroid, it was about digestion, it was about, your whole internal system working to the best of its ability. It was amazing.
Yes, well, I love yoga. One of my daughters is a yoga teacher and has been for a number of years, and she trained in Thailand, and so I love yoga. But my chiropractor, he once said to me, and I've never forgotten it, about age again. He said, you're only as old as your spine. So if you look after your spine and keep supple, that determines your age and how you get around. And I thought, oh, that is so true, isn't it? So if you feel good, you walk taller and straighter, and if you look after that spine, that's what holds you together and keeps you standing up nice and straight and moving, having that ease to get up out of the chair and climb up and get something. And so yoga works on that. So if you're doing yoga every day, well, you are taking care of your spine.
Yeah, that's it. And I never did yoga till this year. So
yeah, right. Well done, you.
Yeah, look, it's amazing. I really do love it, and I do find I'm a lot more peaceful. Reactions aren't as in the spur of the moment as they used to be. I tend to stop and think more with my husband than anybody else, because he's the one that's around the most. And so, hey, look, it's a marriage. There's no marriage that I know of that has a very smooth road.
That's right. It'd be pretty boring if it did. Well, I always say, like, if it's absolutely peaceful all the time, well, it just means that one person's giving in. And
exactly. And discussions are healthy in relationships.
Yeah, you don't have to have the exact view on everything. I mean, otherwise you just be married to yourself. You want something that stands. You have a spark there that you banter around in. Like, you've got to have some life in it.
Yeah, exactly right. And discussions are a really great way to get your opinions about different things. I mean, you don't want to be the same. You don't want to have the same opinions. You want to be able to have opposite opinions and discuss and debate that, because it just brings so much more to your life too.
It's very healthy in a relationship. Yes. It certainly is. So before we go, is there anything else, like I touched on, that you wanted to take your business globally? Is there any other goals or plans that you've got coming up for your business?
Yeah, look, I think the one thing is that you mentioned that I do my Unique Vibrations Midday show every Thursday, and I've started my Extraordinary Women's interview series this year as well, with the intention to actually hold a summit, an online summit. Whether that comes through at the end of this year, it really will depend on the time management of everything else around that. Because I'm looking at, I was looking at about 5 days, but after recently being on a 2-day online summit, I think 2 days is ample. But, so that was kind of a big thing that I wanted to develop through the interview series, and, picking the panelists to be part of that through the process and hearing their stories is a big part of that. But also, I've always had this vision of doing really creating a luxurious event in a really superior venue, and having women come into that. They pay their price to come to that. They have 4 days basically where they listen to some wonderful speakers, but they get time to network. We have dinner and show at the end of the day. They stay at this venue, so they walk in and walk out. That will include a pamper session. Like it's a big vision, and that's so that. I really believe that women have so many powerful gifts that they were born with, that, that can really start their own ripple effect in life by being involved with a community of people that will provide them with, a cog that's missing in their link. It's bringing women together, because you just never know. And if these women are coming from, firstly, around Australia and even around the globe, then you don't know who you're going to meet. And it will be a very intimate event as well. It's not going to be filled up with hundreds and hundreds of people. It will be a small, unique event that will be extremely special.
Oh, it'd be amazing. Imagine them walking out of there. It'd be totally changed. It'd be absolutely awesome time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's always been there, and it's just bringing, making sure I'm in the position to bring that all together successfully and have incredible speakers. So, who knows,
and that's what, you've got to be able to see it to be able to create it. And I love, that's a saying of Walt Disney's, isn't it? You have to be able to see it first, and then that you can create it. And I think someone said that to his wife after he'd died, isn't it a shame Walt isn't here to see this finished? And she said, oh, but he did see it. That's why it's here today.
That's it. That's totally it. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. So, yeah, huge visions, as we all have. I know that you have big visions and, prospects for your business, and it's just amazing. Like,
yes. And it's exciting, and I always say I've just been very, very lucky with my working life. I've always worked for myself since I was 18. I've had my first business, and I've always been had businesses throughout the years, and I've never ever woke up and thought, oh, it's work again.
Yeah.
I'm always excited. It's more when I wake up thinking, oh, what can I create today? What challenge, what idea am I going to, I'm always thinking of something to change something or something new to introduce. And so I look at myself and think, oh, I've just been so fortunate, because I can, and that's an absolutely truthful thing. I've loved my entire working life. And that again is what I want for other people. And so, when you hear people say they've absolutely hated their job, you know, and they've gone to it for like 30 years or something, and they've hated every day. I'm like, well, that's a tragic waste of your life, isn't it? You know, we do spend a lot of our time working, so you want to love what you're doing. So that's another one of my goals. Yes, I'd love that I can get women to see they actually can spend their time doing things that they love, and it makes a huge difference to your life. So just to finish, what programs do you offer, and what is the best way for people to find you, Donna?
Yeah, sure. So I offer a number of different programs. I do masterclass, which is about increasing business and income through vibrational alignment, and that leads into being able to do some work with me as a wealth creation coach and strategist to be able to bring their business back to focus, specifically for women who have been in business for less than 5 years, because there's a time and a point I find around the 3 to 4 year period where focus becomes very much, off track, because they've just been overwhelmed with the doing and in their business every day instead of working on it. And I also have a starting program, which is a 4-week program, Awaken Your Inner Power. And of course, that's a lot about what we spoke about today. It's about building that connection with yourself and your intuitiveness to be able to create that vibrational energy to project the best you forward every time, regardless of what's going on outside of your life, and understanding how to work that, with positive energy all the time. So they're the two probably main things that I work with. And of course, they can get me on Facebook, Unique Vibrations page. I do my TV show as well, and I also do the interview series. Those are things that people can connect with through that page. And also I have my website, which is uniquevibrations.com. That's just got some of the programs in it. There's a lot of, I'm personally going through, big expansion at the moment within myself. So there's a lot of changes coming to the website that I haven't done yet, but it's there. It's got some stuff there that you can certainly look at, and, connect with me through my booking diary, for a power call, if you'd like further information on how we can work together, and how can I make it possible to work with them. So that's the big question, is whatever I can do to be the person that they want to work with. Yeah.
Now your TV program, that'll be available on YouTube. If they go to YouTube, they'd find that, do they? Or
that's on Facebook, so they're Facebook, and all the replays are there. I'm in the process of uploading them all to YouTube at the moment. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's only got, and I literally have only done half a dozen that I've uploaded at the moment. I'm just started working on that. So
Facebook's the place to go.
Facebook's the place to go. So, and as we all know, we're all born with a gift. Share that gift. Don't be ordinary, because you were born to be extraordinary, and don't limit yourself.
Oh, well, thank you, Donna, for sharing your story with us today and all that you do to help women. And I know that it will inspire many women out there to make a decision and just to take some action and to get the confidence and belief to create what it is they would like to do. So everyone, have a great day, and thank you for listening. Now, please share this interview with your friends, as my mission is to help as many women as I can to create the life they want. So I would love as many as possible to see this interview with Donna. So bye for now from Donna and myself.
Thank you, Karen. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.